Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunakto Saviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidyushavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Vataye Namaha. Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. So now we are in the last stage. In the verse number 27, Asmin kshane mahabahu ravanam tum jahisyasi evam uktva tato gastyo jagama sa yathagatam. While discussing this verse, we came to a very good conclusion that in life we need to keep in touch with a person to whom we respect, to whom we revere, to whom always we really look at in a different way, in high pedestal, put him or her in high pedestal. And of course, that person must be reachable to us whenever we need. That was the psychological impact that we saw, how when Agastya said that, look, you are going to win, you are going to slay Ravana, you are going to destroy Ravana, you are going to win over Ravana. That gave the confidence to Rama. Not the words, remember, if you look at, for example, Hanuman was there, those who are acquainted with the story, acquainted with the descriptions. Hanuman was not an ordinary person. In fact, he was an incarnation of Lord Shiva. More than that, he was son of Pavana, wind, God. Many factors are there with him. But his words were not that much important. Rama did not listen or did not bother much about Lakshman's word. And there were many other people too. But the word of Agastya could create a big impact, could bring a change in mind of Rama. That's why that word became a turning point in Ramayana Yuddha war. So also in life, whom we really respect, so whom we put in a very high pedestal, that person's word becomes a game changer whenever we are depressed, whenever we are going through tough time in our life. That's why in every religion, starting with Hinduism and other things, people do connect with a person. Sometimes when they cannot get connected with the person through the institution. Can you see this point? So whoever heads the institution, for example in Christianity, whoever becomes father or bishop or whatever, they go there. So that will take care whether it's going to help or not, but psychologically it really helps a lot at that moment. So looking at this aspect, now let us go ahead. That's why whether it's going to happen or not, how to know, this is the next point comes. That's why please understand. When mind projects fear in us. I'm using very carefully. When mind projects fear in us, that time only the words of other person to whom you consider is better, bigger and respected will be the medicine for the fearful mind. Because when your mind keeps projecting or when there is fear, remember, no remedy, no solution will not work, no tricks and technique will not work. All the tricks and techniques will be postponement, pacifying, changing, but in reality, mind is not going to listen at all. For example, I can say, when mind is afraid of, the best example of this, a person who is afraid of something that does not come out. This story, I have shared with you all many times. So he was not coming out at all. So somehow parents managed to took him to the psychiatrist or psychologist or psychoanalyst. Then with great difficulties, the psychoanalyst could find out this person is afraid of, the person thinks that he is a cat. So as usual, the story goes that the psychoanalyst shows that, hey, look, you cannot be cat. Look in front of mirror. Can you see this is a cat or yes? Now look at the reflection of cat and you look at your reflection. There is difference or not? Yes. Now look at me and you. We are human beings. Yes, I understand. Very happy comes out. Understood? Yes, very happy. No more I am afraid of. Then after 2 days what happens? Again he doesn't come out. Again the mind starts finding out its own projects or own fear. This is the most important aspect. Because each time mind tries to find out its own fear. Then after a few days mind comes up and says, hey look, I understand you are not cat. Yes, perfect, you are human being. But now you know that you are a human being. How does the dog know, the especially street dogs know, that you are no more a cat? That you are a human being. Now you are again stuck. The person again is stuck. Let us not stress the example. This is what the mind, nothing else. So mind job is to create some fear or some time or other whenever your energy is low. Remember, this is the most important aspect. Whenever your energy is low, the mind job is to create or to project some type of fear, and you will discover the fear has no connection and the fear will have no logic. Have you not observed sometime in life? Absolutely no logic of fear. But we all live in fear. The sense of uncertainty, sense of loss. And this fear literally drains our energy. If we are not able to deliver anything in our life, if we are not productive in our life, not because of anything, it is only because of sense of fear. And fear is always connected to my low energy, low thinking. So whenever my thinking goes down, especially whenever my thinking is to fulfill what mind says, let me not get into likes and dislikes. Whenever my thinking is just to fulfill my thinking, means it goes round with the thinking, you understand? That time fear has to build up, there is no choice. So once the fear is there, all our energy is out. A strongest person will be nobody when there is fear. A fearful person cannot deliver anything in life. Yes, we need to have some fear. Because without fear, mind becomes another way. Okay, you understand that is more dangerous. But the fear should not be related to me. The fear should be related to, please understand, the fear should be related to my mind, not to related to the near future. Because when fear is related to my mind, my thinking, every moment I start questioning my thinking or my mind. Hey, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Are you doing okay? So that it becomes easier to witness your process of thinking. If you fail to witness your way of thinking because of fear, then automatically now those thinking adds to your fear. So now Rama was in that situation, to be very honest. Even though deep within he had confidence, he has killed many people, many things. The group has almost completed everything. Only last goal. But who is in front? Ravana, not any other ordinary person. Now there is fear. Really, can we do it? It's not that easy. Now when this sort of thing happens, of course the word of Agastya plays a big role. Then how to know this, how to overcome? Really you have overcome or not? You have pacified or you have managed? That's why the next verse shows the indication. This is how to understand. Etat srutva mahateja nashtasoko bhavattada dharayamasa suprito Raghava prayatmatvan prayatatmavan etat srutva teja nashtasoko bhavattada dharayamasa suprito Raghava prayatatmavan. Not getting okay, I'm sorry. Says beautifully. How do you know, or how will you know, better word, that really you are overcoming the fear? Says beautifully. If you overcome fear, you will have a spark. Overcoming fear doesn't happen by some practice or in a slow process. Overcoming fear never happens by a slow process or practicing something. Overcoming fear has to happen in a spark of second. Because the moment you understand the fear is nothing but it is your projection, it is your insecurity, it is your ignorance, it is uncertainty. The moment you understand the clue, the point, especially when you start hitting your way of thinking, not to get carried away the words or suggestion of others. Can you see this point? Like the psychologist said, look, you are not a cat. We are human beings. So the person would carried away with the person, clack, click, clicked. No doubt in it. But after that again some other thing pop up. So here what to be done is, so when the fear is there, when the understanding is being given, you will see the smile with the person then and there. Not it takes time. So if there is no smile Like 180-degree change then and there, okay, you understand, literally. Some people problem is when they are happy also they change 180 degree. That's the dangerous part, okay. At least when you are unhappy you can change 180 degree, okay. Not from happiness to unhappiness on 180 degree. That is the dangerous part, okay. So here he says, Yetat Srutva. That the moment after all these descriptions, when this Agastya Rishi gives the word, you are going to destroy, you are going to kill. Along with this, now what happens? Now Mahateja, now there is some type of brilliance and of course powerful. And who is that brilliant, powerful person? Rama. And who is that Rama? Says Rama is nothing but Raghava, who belongs to Raghu clan. What happens to him? Etat Srutva, having heard this, Nashta Shokaha Abhavata. So the person becomes free from Nashta Shoka, in whom the Shokaha, affliction, is destroyed. Means at once the person is able to get rid of the affliction, the worries and anxieties that was bothering him in 1 second. This is what called fixing one's own mind. Because mind to get fixed, it needs a spark. Have you not observed? This is what I always look at, always I highlight. To become unhappy, how long does it take? From happy to unhappy, how long does it take? A fraction of a second, yes or no? If a fraction of a second takes, one thought can make you unhappy. So also, one thought can make you happy. As they say beautifully, once an unhappy thought comes, it brings its family. It's like we call, as you know, this our Indian noodles, not Chinese noodles, okay? Indian noodles, Indian spaghetti, okay? Noodles means spaghetti. So Indian spaghetti means, why I am using the word Indian spaghetti? We have different spicy, okay? Imagine not mixed. Somewhere salt, somewhere chili, somewhere other spicy, one place. If you pull one place, one spaghetti, suppose salty place, all salty thing will come because it is not mixed. Then you change, go to another place, only spice one will come. You understand? So whatever you pick up, suppose one place you pick up bland, there is no salt, nothing, only that things will keep coming. So also the thought. If a thought that bogs you comes, then what happens? All the thought related to that bugging thought comes or not? If a happy thought comes, does all the happy thought comes or not? That's why your job is, especially when you are having a bugging thought, change your mind, change your place, change your situation. Sometimes change people don't do it. Because you need to grow out of it. There is no choice for you. So that's why what is to be done here, he says beautifully, that when nashta shoka bhavat tada, then and there Rama could be free from affliction. Means he was completely cut off from his drowning energy, drowning thinking or worries and anxieties. Then and there is no time delay at all. And interestingly, when it happens, this says beautifully, and of course, because of that reason, automatically, supritaha. So supritaha means the one who is well pleased. Because once you are not drowning, once there is no worries and anxieties, then what happens? Smile automatically comes. There is contentment. There is satisfaction. And it has to happen then and there. And of course, once that happens, then he says, Prayatmavan. So Prayatmavan means the one who has perfect self-control over one's own self, one's own thinking. Because earlier, there was no self-control. You were already depending upon your thought and thinking process. You happened to stand. Rama was happened to stand there, but he was lost. In the warrior, in the front, because he is the hero. And done a great thing. If anything goes wrong, all the people are collapsing. He is not ordinary person. Remember, he was standing physically, but definitely he was completely lost and dependent upon many thoughts, many worries and anxieties, different type of worries and anxieties. So once this is being taken care, now he is stable. This is called stability. Remember, stability means when you are in the present. Stability is not when you are in the past or future. If you observe yourself when you are standing, do you stand with the present or do you stand with the past or future? Most of the time we are standing with reference to past or future. Can you see this point? So that's why here he says Prayatmavan. And because he is Prayatmavan, very beautiful, nice word he uses. Then he said Dharayamasa. Dharayamasa means, please understand, Dharayamasa means he could memorize, he could recollect whatever Agastya Rishi told, means all these stotras, this Aditya Hrudayam stotras. So that means his memory, what we call as when the virus was killing the ram, you can talk this language, okay? When the virus was killing the ram, exhausting ram, engaging ram unnecessarily, that's why the computer was making noise and all sort of problem happened. Now the moment virus is being removed, now all the RAM, all the memory now used for the processing of the processor. So the Lord Rama is able to now recollect all the things we have been taught. That's why we say very carefully, when you are happy, when you are with yourself at present, you will be able to recollect all the good things that happened in your life. Whereas when you are not with yourself, when you are not with the present, you cannot recollect yourself what has happened good to you in your life. Always you will recollect whatever has gone wrong in your life. That's why one of the most important aspects in life is, if you are able to recollect only what has gone in your life, that means you are not with yourself. You are not with the present. Because to be present means whatever has gone right with you, you will be able to recollect. Because whenever you see whatever has gone right to you with yourself, that gives you confidence. That gives you the strength. In fact, that makes you to be grateful in your life. Whereas if you recollect what has gone wrong in your life, with that thought, will you be able to be grateful in life? Impossible. So that is what is being said, that whatever in this critical moment, whatever Agastya Rishi has taught, now Rama is able to recollect. So good things are coming to the forefront. Okay, very good. Then what happens? Now it says beautifully, this is called, the samskara. This is called practice. Please understand, this is the second step we need to look at. Next verse. Okay, with a spark, with a click, you change your mind. But this mind is not going to change so quickly. That moment will be fixed. Again, next moment, again it will go back or not. 100% he has to go back. That's why you need practice. Can you see this point? Practice is not useless. Don't say that practice has no value. Practice has definitely value. In fact, everywhere practice has been given importance. That's why we say very nicely, always, abhyasa, vairagya and abhyasa. Three things we use the word, jnanam, vairagya and abhyasa. If you want to avoid with the knowledge, You need two things. That you need vairagya, developing the dispassion and practicing. Because without practice nothing will happen, because mind will go back to the old tendencies. Mind will go back to its own format, own form. So that's why the next verse highlights very carefully the practice part. Let us read. Adityam prikshajaptedam param harsham abhaptavan tirachamya suchir bhutva dhanuradaya viryavan. Adityam prikshajaptedam param harsham abhaptavan tirachamya suchir bhutva dhanuradaya viryavan. The most important thing here is, let us look at the verse, then we'll go ahead. So Viryavan means the one who has got power, and who is a Rama. That's why you need strength, you need energy. If there is no energy, definitely your mind is not going to cooperate with you. So that's why energy is the most important aspect in life. That's why as we grow old, especially when energy goes down, mind doesn't cooperate with us. So the trick and technique is maintaining the energy all the time. Says beautifully. Now this Rama, what did he? 3 achamya is a process. So he did 3 times achamana. Like we have different methods, Achyutayanam, Anantayanam, Govindayanam, different methods. So to make sure purifying the 3 bodies, gross body, subtle body and causal body. So there are different processes. Now this comes ritualistic portion. So when he talks about achamana, so that means what? Prior to achamana, because that means what? Anta Suddhi, Vaya Suddhi has to be done. Sprinkling little water. This is the process, okay, of chanting this. Then after that, once achamana is being done, 3 times sipping is done, then comes what? Definitely pranayama. So after pranayama, automatically comes what? Sankalpa. So after sankalpa, of course, here he says also you need to do dhyanam if you can. So after dhyanam is Surya Dhyana. After dhyanam, you can do anganyasa, karanyasa. Just I am stretching little bit further, okay? This is our process, okay? Anganyasa, karanyasa. Establishing means protecting all your body and hands. Anganyasa, karanyasa. Then the japam starts. This is how the process is. But very sweetest way is being presented. 3 achamya suchir bhutva. So sipping 3 times. And suchir bhutva. So suchir bhutva means purifying one's own self. Then what happens? Adityam prakshya. So prakshya means having seen, looking at Aditya, Surya. Then what happens? Idam japtva. This Aditya Hrudayam, this mantra, this slokas, Rama started jumping, having recited. What he did? Dhanuhu adaya paramam harsham abhaktavan. So having recited this mantra, what he did? Dhanu, his bow, and adaya, having taken up, because definitely while doing japa, he must not have hold the bow with him, okay? Because he was to do all these things. Now he picks up his bow and arrow. Then after that what happens? Param harsham aptavan. So he is in immense joy. He gained his immense joy. Means he got back all his strength. So these 2 verses highlights very carefully. The problem has to be fixed by understanding the previous verse. the continuity, not allowing mind to go back to the old problem, will be done through the tricks and techniques and practice. But generally what the people think, they want to fix their mind through the tricks and techniques. Then they want to keep the mind on track through knowledge. It doesn't work. Can you see this point? This is the difference. So Vedanta, and if you want to see very carefully, Vedanta is very unique in this regard. Vedanta highlights to fix the problem just with a trick. So once you fix the problem with a trick, with understanding, then not allowing the mind to go back to the old habit. You can follow certain tricks and techniques, of course, and practice. So this is how is being highlighted in these two verses. So now once this happens, now you are happy, now you are regaining your strength, because you know your mind does not go back to the old. That means what? You become strong or not. You lose confidence that moment. When you discover helplessly, your mind goes back. So here is being said that how you will understand that really your mind is not going back or not. So what is the consequences? That consequences is being highlighted in the next verse, because all are psychologically connected. So what is that? He says, Ravanam preksha hrushtatma jayartham samupagamat. So if you look at translation wise, Ravanam preksha. So having seen, and of course who? Rama, who is hrushtatma, filled the heart with joy. Then what it does? Jayartham. Jayartham means for the sake of victory. Samupagamat, proceeded forward, means it goes towards Rama. Tasya, of him, badhe, in order to kill him, in order to slay him, in order to destroy him. And of course, mahata sarvayatnena, with great effort, with all sort of great effort, carefulness. And of course, now the person is ready to brutaha, ready to abhavat. He became ready to kill him. Now what it communicates, if you observe, that means Rama now straight looks at or looked at Ravana. If you take in present tense, looks at. So that means if you have really solved the problem, if your mind has gained back its strength or on track, you will be able to look at the problem. Can you see this point? The eyes to eye will be able to meet. If you are not able to meet with the problem, if you are not able to face with the problem, that means your mind is not listening to you. Can you see this point? Only when your mind is able to listen to you, and more than that, mind is not going back on its own, then only you will be able to meet the problem. You will be able to face the problem. That eyes to eye meeting will happen. Or whatever object of your problem, object of your disturbance, object of fear, can be faced, or you will be able to face that moment when all this development has happened. So here, the object of fear was Ravana. Now, Rama is able to look at Ravana straight eye, face to face. That's why we say very carefully, when you are able to meet eyes to eye of a person. Okay, there are people to practice, okay? You understand? After some time, That doesn't work, because that will show later on. So here it says, not only that, another trick also is being highlighted here. That of course when you meet the person, when eye to eye meets, whether there is joy in you or not, or there is worries and anxieties or not, or to control, to manage, to manipulate it, or to, different ways, you can see from the eyes. So here Rama's heart was filled with joy, confidence. This is the second step. And of course he proceeded. He started moving towards Ravana. Not calculated whether Ravana is going to take first step or I should take first step. You understand? There is no calculation. You go always forefront. You become the first player. Doesn't matter whatever happens. That is the mind. That is how mind works in life. And that's why what happens with that, it says beautifully, then once this happens, then definitely there is confidence in one's own self. Because if I have own over the mind, how long will it take to own over anybody or anything in life? Remember, winning over mind is most dangerous thing in life. Most difficult things too. Winning over somebody or something is not a big thing at all. Whether physically, mentally or any way, it's not a big thing at all. That time we become defeated with person when we lose to ourselves. Always a parents, this is what I have seen, I have gone through now. Always a parents lose in front of the child. Have you not observed? A parents cannot win over in front of the child. Impossible. Why? Because there is a lot of emotion. There is worries and anxieties. They are connected to the children in different way. That's why every parents are failure in front of the child. Have you not observed this? The weakness. Whereas the same parent, same person in front of others is perfect. Why it happens? Because with reference to child, the whatever emotions you have, whatever contacts, whatever connection you have with reference to your mind is weaker. You cannot win over that. Can you see this point? So winning over mind is most important aspect. And once you win over the mind, winning over anybody or anything makes no difference. It just happens. So that's why when Rama could win over his mind, winning over Ravana is not a big thing at all. Can you see this point? Logic. So whole process is winning over one's own mind. Okay, fantastic. That's good. Then finally what happens? He says beautifully, now he is ready to make a great effort all around. Means you don't spare anything. You understand? You utilize everything to achieve the best in your life, to slay Ravana. So once you win over the mind, you try all options. You don't spare anything. Every bit of it you use to arrive at the point. Can you see this point? Because there is nothing to lose in life. You understand? When you understand there is nothing to lose in life, because what is the best thing to lose in life? Please understand, when I am defeated by my mind, I am a loser. People think when I am getting defeated with others, I am a loser. No, it's wrong. That may be consequences, because I consider that if others think that I have lost, then my mind says I am a loser. No, it's me who calls me a loser when my mind doesn't listen to me. So that time you are a loser, not because of others, because you have lost to your mind. In short, when your mind becomes more powerful than you, you are a real loser. So that's why, keeping that in mind, he makes it very clear that here Rama, when could win over at this critical moment, Now he goes all around because he knows he's the winner. Nothing to lose. Now let me fight, let me win over. And of course he did. With this, now the last verse, which is a very nice one, we also need to understand this. Let us read. Atha raviravadana nirikshya ramam mudita manah paramam prabhushyamana nishicarapati sankshayam viditva suragana madhyagato vachasvireti. Atha raviravadana nirikshya ramam mudita manah paramam prabhushyamana nishicarapati sankshayam viditva suragana madhyagato vachasvireti. So the tune is a little different. So he says, how to conclude it? Now, once this happens, athaha, afterwards, thereafter, what happens? Suragana madhya gata ravihi, Surya, the sun, happens to be there with all the gods. Because all you remember started with all the gods had come, along with them Agastya had come to see what is going to happen. To support Rama, because Rama was fighting for dharma. Rama was not fighting for his wife, okay? Wife happens to be just instrument. It is not that Rama was only interested in his wife, okay? Please understand. That's wrong interpretation. Somebody said, wow, Rama was crazy for his wife. For why? His wife said he could do the war. Somebody said very nicely, look, Ramayana war happened because of, sometimes also I have said, okay, not that somebody, I also say sometimes. Why to say somebody, okay? It's very bad mind, okay? Look, Ramayana war happened because of lady. Mahabharata war, this is called, this old thinking of, picked up thinking. I'm sorry, I should correct this, okay? So Ramayana war happened because of, why? A lady. Mahabharata war happened because of a lady. First world war happened because of lady. Second world war happened because of lady. For everything lady. What about men? You think that men doesn't have anything to do or what? Or men are useless? All I do know is a wrong thinking. I'm rectifying myself, okay? Please don't misunderstand me. So this is called my growth now, okay? It's not because of lady, it's because of the weakness of the men, okay? Yes, lady happens to be instrument. Lady happens to be forefront. That's all, nothing else. But it is only because of the weakness of the man, of the men. Let us accept this part also, however. So here he says what? Rama, please understand. All this war did not happen just because of Sita, because there are hundreds of ways Rama to bring Sita back. In fact, when Hanuman wanted to bring it, just in a second Hanuman could have brought back. There are many occasions. But Rama said, no, we are fighting for something. It is a matter of justice and dharma. We cannot do that. That's why when it happens, now let us look at, he says beautifully, when this came, Rama was fighting this thing. Now he says, now here that Ravi, the Surya, was watching everything. Starting from Agastya, initiating him, making him to listen to. Then he did Achavanam. And all this process, again he recited back. All this thing was being watched by Surya Bhagavan. They are being among the gods. He was watching. So when he saw this thing, and of course, what happened? Definitely, seeing all these things, Mudita Vanayaha, and who? Nishicarapati. So, Nishicarapati means, very beautifully, that the destruction of the king of the demons, the Surya Bhagavan. So what happens? Having known this thing, so what he says? So he could see very nicely. No, Nishicarapati will go to Ravan. Sorry. Nishicarapati will be Ravan. So who is the king of demons? I'm sorry. So seeing this thing, what happened is, now he could see, Surya Bhagavan could see, now the destruction of Nishicarapati is going to happen. The destruction of Ravana is going to happen. Now, knowing this thing, Viditva, having known that, what happens? Paramam Prabhushyamanaha. Now, of course, he is very happy. And when he becomes happy, then of course what happens? Now he said something. very nicely. What he said, the point he said, look, Twaraha iti vachaha avadat. He spoke, hurry up. Do it fast. Just hurry up. Twara iti. Now, this communicates a lot. How? I'll give you a beautiful presentation in this regard. We have a beautiful saying. Whenever we do any ritual, at the end of the ritual, we get the signal. For example, in fire ritual, you will see different form of gods in the form of fire. For example, like Sudarshana Home, Narasimha Home, all these things, you will see that Narasimha shape in the fire. Many times it has happened. Sometimes, like great rituals when it happens, towards the end of the ritual, some drizzling will come, some rain will come. Or just towards the end of the ritual, some good news will arrive. Or some good sound will come, not planned, suddenly. Or a person who is a respectable person arrives at your home. Or nowadays telephone comes. Because nowadays nobody is allowed to go, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So all these things are the point. And here in this case, I will just give you another trick. When you do this Aditya Hrudayam, looking at Surya especially, after doing that, you look at Surya and close your eyes. See that what is happening in your eyes, after closing the eyes, what you are able to see. If you can understand that process, that gives you the signal that whatever you have done is going to happen or not. And more of it, refer to Pratika Upasana. We have discussed, okay? So don't ask me anything. Please go back to Shiva Samhita, okay? Again. So everything we have discussed in details in Shiva Samhita. There is nothing we have left. So here is being said how Surya could say Tvaraiti, because he was happens to be. Now Surya is in front of us. So when Surya is in front of us, of course he says something. We have to listen to, we have to understand it. So once we understand, of course, we are happy. That's why this Aditya Hrudayam to be chanted every day without fail. Thank you all of you getting an opportunity to speak this Aditya Hrudayam. Really, it has really done a great job. Thank you all of you. Please close your eyes.